Welcome both of you, and thank you for joining me here today. I'm here with Nick Haratsaris, our president, and Matt McDonnell, our CEO and chair of the board. We're going to spend some time talking about our business, what's gotten us to 140 years, and I'm sure some other highlights as well. So, Matt, you want to give us started and talk a little bit about what it means to you for this to be a family-owned business?
Sure. The word that comes to mind is pride. I'm extremely proud of the legacy that's been created here starting in 1885. I'm sure you're aware of this, but many people aren't, that I wasn't really involved in the business or had a notion of what the business was until my mid 30s when I came here with my family to celebrate our 125th. And I met some family members and was very impressed with the culture and the size of the organization. And from that point on, as I took more interest in the company and started to work here, that pride continues. It's probably stronger today than it's ever been. 140 years is something to be proud of. I believe it's a differentiator in the entire industry. I don't believe there's any other companies or hardly any companies in the United States that are 140 years of age.
Right, right. And you're fifth generation, correct?
I'm fifth generation.
And do we have any other family members who are involved in the business as well?
We have some board members, four board members that are family members, but I'm the only family member currently employed and working full time at MJS Packaging.
Excellent, excellent. And I do want to touch on one of your family members who really made an impact in the industry, who I know I've always looked up to, and that would be your great aunt.
Yeah,
Elaine
me
Jacob.
too. Thank you for asking me that question. So Elaine Jacob, I grew up in Southern California, used to visit us once a year, and it was a really special time for our family because she sort of became my mentor as far as how to tackle the world and be entrepreneurial and just a good friend. So, as I mentioned, I didn't know much about the business until my mid 30s. At that point, Elaine had already retired. She was living in Northern California. And that's when I really got to know her as a person, not just a businesswoman. So I do know, based on conversations with her, and still when I go to trade shows and other industry events, that Elaine Jacob was very well respected, brought plastics to our company, hired several of our most incredible salespeople, and really is did more for the industry as well, not just MGS Packaging. So really be proud to be associated with her, not only as a relative, but
Sure.
as a legacy member of MJS Packaging.
That's great. That's great. Nick, tell us a little bit about your path.
Yeah, so I've been here almost 19 years now. I came in as the controller, worked my way up to CFO, COO, and then president. It's been a great journey for me. The people that I've met, the team that we have, the fact that you're able to be part of leading and part of a 140-year-old company, it's really humbling. So it's we're excited for the future and what we can do to continue to make an impact.
And you followed in the footsteps of some pretty incredible presidents at our company. So tell us a little bit about Marty and David.
Yeah, so Marty Jacob was on the back end of his career when I started, but to this day, he's still the best storyteller that I know. He would sit in the office and tell you about things like they happened yesterday and they were 30 and 40 years ago. And everyone who's worked here and who knew Marty knew his Martyisms. One of my favorites is there are no yesterdays, there's only todays and tomorrows. What I learned from that is that whatever it is, successes or challenges, as long as we move forward and learn from them and take from them to continue to do better. David and I had eerily similar backgrounds, both from where we went to school to how when we started here, when we started our families and so on and so forth. And David's passion for MJS and our legacy and its employees are really second to none. He was a great person, and we learned a lot from David.
Excellent. So 140 years, right? We're celebrating that this year. That's a long time. So what does it mean to have weathered? I mean, what are some of the things that we've overcome during that time? It's crazy when you think about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. One thing we've overcome are tariffs. That was a thing in the past. We're currently, dealing with that obstacle. We delivered packages on horse and buggy, been through two world wars and several other wars and conflicts, inflation, pandemics. I mean, 1885, we started as a bottling distributor. And one of my favorite family stories was during Prohibition, since we're in Michigan, that was also a good time to be a glass supplier.
Sure. Exactly, exactly. Now, in terms of us being sold, I mean, it's not just about that, right? It's about how we're growing and evolving too. But how does that stability, how does that play out for our manufacturing partners and our customers? What do they find as what is the benefit to them?
Yeah, for us, we're really well respected in the industry, both from our vendor partners and our customer partners. We have partnerships on both sides of the ledger, I'll say, in the business world. So, people respect us, people know what we say is what we'll do. And, that's important not only for our customers, but for, our supply partners, because we're there representing them and, also driving success for our customers.
Great, great. And fortunately, we're no longer bottling in one person's backyard, right? We've
No,
grown a bit.
our garage.
So what has really catapulted our growth through the years? What's been the success there?
Yeah, so I think for us, obviously longevity helps.
Sure.
From that perspective, being able to keep the business moving, and I think that's a credit to the board too for allowing the team to run the business. Matt being part of the board and the management team, they allow us, you, me, to be part of that success. We've grown through not acquisitions. 2011 was our first acquisition. We've grown organically by hiring salespeople throughout the country, and I think that's that's what continued focus on growth is what will help us catapult for another hopefully 60 years.
Excellent, excellent. We have several core values that we talk about here a lot, and one of those is community.
Yep.
So what does it mean to be a member of the community, serving the community? What's been your personal experience with that?
Yeah, it's we say that being part of something and being part of not only being there for someone financially, but being there for them when they truly need it, being there to help support them. We're involved in a handful of really great organizations here, two of which we've been part of for quite some years, Friendship Circle and Ronald McDonald House. And we send volunteers down there from our team members multiple times throughout the year, whether it's in their village, Friendship Circle Village, to making meals in the Detroit Ronald McDonald House. I'm getting goosebumps now. Every time you leave there, you leave with goosebumps because you see the impact that you're having on those folks and the challenges that they're going through. And I always leave asking myself, what more can I do to help? What more can I do?
Yeah, that's wonderful. That really is. Matt, I'm going to shift it back over to you.
Okay.
So can you talk a little bit about our position in the packaging distribution industry?
Sure. Nick just briefly touched on it. We're very trusted. We're loyal. 140 years experience. I mean, there are some suppliers where we were their first customers.
It's crazy.
So it is crazy to think about that. And that and just hiring the right teammates, building the right culture. We really talk about our core values every day, every moment. They're equally as important as our actual overall business and what we're doing in our roles and functions and responsibilities, and building that team to help support the 140 years of legacy is something that'll continue providing us success.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, we're kind of a work hard, play hard type culture, right? And I know lots of times people come up to you and say, hey, what's going on next? Because they'll see some of the things that we're posting about on social or whatever. Talk a little bit about that, because that kind of shows a little bit more of our fun side.
Sure. I think some of you that know us know that we really like to have fun, and we do fun. Look us up on LinkedIn. One of my favorites is every November we do the Movember contest. So you can see Nick and myself with I either call it the most beautiful mustache in the world or most horrific, but we do try to change our mustache styles every year. That and hot dog eating contests and company picnics. I mean, we're always there to support our customers and partners when we see them in the field, take them to a fun sporting event, a nice dinner. Certainly there's mountainous amounts of activities and fun that we do, both internally as a company to perpetuate our family values and team building, but also outside as well. So definitely look us up on LinkedIn.
Right. And really bring our human touch to everything we do, right? That's who we are.
Yep.
Instead of just being a face behind the business, we really 100%. Want to be out there. So what about future growth? How are we positioned for that, both in the distribution and on the retail side as well?
Yeah, for us, as Matt said, building that team. When I started, we were 35 to 40 employees, and we had one other office in the Chicago area. So as we grow both through acquisition and internally, organically, that we have the support staff to help support all that. So we're approaching 100 employees, and we're super excited for the impact that we can make to help our customers grow, most importantly, and to help support those vendors. So, we're always looking for acquisition. These are challenging times to through that at the moment, but we'll get through them like we always do. And
Sure.
those are things that'll help catapult us.
Great. And Matt, what has you excited about our future?
This. I mean, I'm hopefully people are getting a sense of who we are, the human side, seeing us out in, the public space, interacting with our supply base and our customers, getting a feel of who we really mean as a company and what we're really like in the industry. That's really exciting. But also with the technological advances, and again, these obstacles and trials and tribulations that we talked about since we started in 1885 from horse and buggy all the way now to AI. I mean, we're well weathered, and the sky literally is the limit. I mean, we have more potential now than we did 10 years ago, let alone 125, let alone 140.
Sure.
So when I wake up in the morning, that's what really excites me. Those, the ability to have everlasting continued success in this packaging space, but at the same time, as we talk about regularly, getting the right team and supporting those teammates, getting involved in, their personal lives, watching those teammates have babies, go through weddings, celebrate birthdays. So I hopefully are doing a good job of describing that culture, because that part really excites me too.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Any other final thoughts that you want to provide before we wrap up here today?
No, I just want to say, again, we've grown this, and when I say we, it's everybody. We have an incredible team here, and I truly believe that none of this can be possible without everyone's contribution. This year's our year of making an impact, and I think, we talk about it a lot. We recognize that a lot, and we couldn't do it with all of our team members. So, I'm super appreciative for the people that are here that help support, our initiatives and our growth. It's a great place to be.
That's great. That's great. Well, I want to thank you both for sharing your insights, your stories, and just helping to make our 140th anniversary an even better place to be.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
All right,
thank you,
thank
Cindy.
you.
Appreciate it.